Welcome back to the episodes of Future Neuroscientists. In these episodes, I'm sharing the most interesting topics in neuroscience, especially related to our health. You're also able to have a sneak peek how it is to work and study in science field. And you definitely will get some tips how to work there. So, I'm Janika Ruuska, and this is my studies journey. I'm studying neuroscience at the University of Helsinki. In today's episode, we are back on track. Welcome to today's episode. So we are back on track. The school started, and I had a summer break from Future Neuroscientist episodes, and I posted videos related to sexuality. And before that break, I mentioned that I'm going to study in Germany, but that's a messy case. And I will tell more about that in the end of the video. Before that, I will tell you my career story, kind of the path, what I have made. And by doing this, I want to give some hope to the situations like you might feel that you have failed or you are not getting anywhere, you don't know where to go, maybe with your studies or with your work. Also, I hope you carefully listen to this story so you can see what are all the steps what I have taken and how much work I have done and how much knowledge I have gained and skills. Because end of the video, you will also hear all those little bit twisted thoughts when I'm doubting myself. And by doing that, I hope that I'm normalizing this. That so many of us, no matter what is our background, how much work we have done, we might get these kind of thoughts. So first, I will tell you how things have gone. What are all the things what I have done and succeed? And after that, I will tell you the true story. What are the kind of missteps there? Or the steps which didn't happen? So first of all, I end up to study biotech engineering. During that time, when I started those studies, I wasn't super sure what I want to do. I end up to study that because I thought that the field of biotech is so wide that with this education, it's able to get work, almost any kind of work. Or what I mean is that you can pick up from very, very wide topics where you would like to go. So I applied that school. I got in. I did my studies. And while I was studying, I was working in Orion. So it's one big pharma company in Finland. I switched later on to Red Cross Blood Service. So quite end of my studies, when I was studying biotech engineering, I applied to school abroad. So I went to Hong Kong, HKUST, to continue part of my studies. I was there for 5 months, and then when I came back, I continued my studies here. Last year when I was doing my studies, I of course needed to decide where I will do my thesis. I ended up to do my thesis in Finnish Institute for Health and Welfare. After completing my thesis and completing my studies, or I was kind of end of completing my studies, I needed to decide where I would like to go for work. I saw this place in University of Helsinki, the open positions, where I applied. Few months before graduating, I started my work there. I worked as a lab engineer in breast cancer research. In that field, I worked almost 3 years. And from there, I gained a lot of really important skills, such as basic laboratory methods, how to plan research, how analyze results, how to make collaboration, how to adapt to the fast-changing situations. All that work was also happening in English, so I needed to develop my English skills. These are just few skills to mention. At some point, I realized that I want to move forward in my career. So I needed to think, what are the topics I'm the most interested in? I ended up to study two things. I studied sexual counseling and finally also neuroscience at the University of Helsinki, where I'm still studying. During my studies, I have also built up my own business, made collaboration with others, and also worked in lab. The latest internship what I did was in anxiety research. So when I say this aloud, it feels I'm really grateful for all those experiences and opportunities what I have got, and I'm really thankful to myself also that I have done the hard work. But actually, it hasn't been so straightforward. One thing to mention before going to all these other steps what I have made, I want to tell you that I have also worked before my studies in really different positions. Just a reminder that I didn't start from here. So I have done a lot of different things, not saying that they are kind of not as valuable jobs, but like they are not exactly what I wanted to do in my career. But they have been really important steps to make, to learn how to work, how to make my own money, how to communicate with other people. Really like important skills when I was really young. I bet the first place to get when you study something, like first job to get, is maybe the most hardest. So in the beginning, I really applied so many places. I didn't matter what is the place where I will go. I just checked the companies which are kind of nearby here and the field is similar. I listed all of those. I listed all of the web pages where I found the jobs. And I also listed all the contact information. Then I sent multiple emails. I shaped the cover letter quite a lot for each of them. And I sent the emails and I contact them back if they didn't answer to my emails, and I mark all those to some Excel sheet. I did hell of a lot of work in the beginning, but it was totally worth it, because finally I got into this company called Orion. And that opened a lot of doors. I continued to the blood service, and in my head I had the image that I want to do my thesis there. I applied and I got the place. I don't know what happened, but they cancelled it. I really love blood service. It was really nice place to work. But I remember when this happened, I was really panicking. Like, what I should do now? For who I will contact? Will I ever get any place to do my thesis? That was the point I needed to breathe. And think, okay, now I have opportunity to take my career to direction I want. I applied only few places and I got the place which I wanted in Finnish Institute for Health and Welfare. And what comes to the work where I applied the cancer research, if you remember I mentioned that, I applied the position what I didn't get. I remember when sitting in the interview, I was thinking that I don't know anything about this topic. I don't know why I'm here. Will I ever get anywhere? These panicking thoughts. But at the same time, I was thinking in my head that, okay, first of all, circles in Finland are quite small. So just being really kind of nice and kind and interested in letting them to know me, how I am as a worker, being really honest there. I hope that they will remember me and maybe I will meet some of them later and they remember, and maybe I will get the chance later. And that is what exactly happened. So in the same research group, they opened another position and they remembered me. I had another interview because the supervisor was different. And I gotta say that in that interview, I still had the feeling that I don't know all these things, what I will work with. But the most important thing was to stay honest about that and show that I'm super interested in and I'm able to learn all those things. And I got accepted. During all those years, I have applied another jobs too. I got into the interview in Germany. They bought the flight tickets for me twice. So I was there twice. I went through all those steps in that interview and there were multiple. It was really, really stressful but really interesting place to work. And in both times, they said that I was the second option. They didn't give me the exact reason because they thought I'm super good, but the another persons had more experience about that specific tasks. I also applied to continue my studies, to do my master's in Germany and in Finland. In Germany, this master degree where I applied was for only 1 year, and I went through all the interviews and I failed. In Finland, I applied another master's degree and I didn't get in. I was feeling so frustrated, like I have all those skills to learn more. I'm really passionate student. I want to move forward. I'm really good student. Can you see that? Also with the work positions. Like, what am I supposed to do if you can't give me anything, how I should develop myself? So I was in the situation where everyone kind of thought that, yeah, you are really good, but we are not taking you in. I was so close to just quit. And really important part was that I talked with my friends and family and colleagues who have went through the similar things also. So they were listening and encouraging me that just continue, don't stop. And now when I look back, I'm actually really thankful for that I didn't get in during that time. Because the time what I worked and I wasn't studying, it gave me time to think what I'm actually really interested in. And I also gained a lot of skills. So meanwhile I was working, I also started these sexual counseling studies. And I was thinking that I want something else too, because I love science. I applied to 2 different master's degrees and I got into the both. And the other one was actually the same where they said no in previous year. It might sound that, okay, there were only few steps, bit kind of bad steps, or that didn't take so long that you didn't go forward, or yeah, that is maybe how it looks like. And when you think your own story, other people might think the same about your story, that you are all the time going forward, you are learning skills. But I know how it feels. If you are really wanting to move forward, maybe you are not clear where you want to move, but you still want to move forward, and everyone else is saying that, yeah, you are really good, but this position is not for you. And if you are doing that multiple times and getting that feedback multiple times, it starts to feel that anything doesn't make any sense. But I want to say, just don't stop. Of course, you're allowed to feel all those emotions, but chase your dreams. And as you can see, my career path hasn't been like super straightforward like with the topic either. My dreams has changed. And this is the thing, You don't need to stop to do things. You can do multiple different things. And all of these experiences, what I have got, help me in my future. So of course you don't need to do everything. But just if you are doing something which is close by your interest, that might be really useful later. You might learn something about what you are passionate about, what you want to do. I will talk more about the passion and if it's actually needed in next episode, so remember to subscribe the channel. And I want to remind here that this is just career path and study path, but life is happening all the time. Like during all these years, what I have studied and worked, there has been ended relationships, I have lost people, I have had health issues, surgeries. I have also lived my life. I have been also way more younger. So of course it has taken time. So I'm saying that life is happening all the time. You don't need to stop. But sometimes these points when you are not moving forward or it might feel so, you are actually moving forward. But you're kind of slowing down, and it's really important work to do with yourself. All right, so now I will go to the German topic. So you remember how much skills and experience I have gained. So soon I will tell you what kind of thoughts I still have in my head. So the idea was to go to Germany in Munich. They have the University LMU there to do part of my studies in that place. It's really, really good university what comes to especially neuroscience. And I was really honored to get that place, that opportunity to study there. But the world situation has been pretty hard. I bet most of you have noticed that. So, how I would say this? The paperwork is already without this world hassle. It's crazy amount of work. I have done it before when I was studying in Hong Kong. I'm filling multiple times the learning agreement and motivation letters and sending every kind of paper to everywhere to just show that I'm a good student and I'm able to do the studies there and so on. So at some point I figured out that it's really hard to get apartment from Munich. They don't offer a student apartment for everyone. So you need to survive from that by yourself if you don't get the student apartment. And unfortunately, that was my case. I didn't receive a student apartment. I started to look for apartments and I noticed that there are multiple others doing the same. It's really, really hard to find. So I started to check the courses what I'm gonna take. The courses seems that they are actually, or most of them are online. So this question came to my head that should I do the studies from here, from Finland, remotely? Because if I don't have an apartment there, and if the studies are online, why I should go there? Of course I would love to go there, but if I don't have an apartment, it's just too much. So I contacted few people, and that's a mess. I don't know, first of all, who to contact, or I didn't know. So I needed to look every emails. I have got so many emails from so many different people, and with those emails are messy, I gotta say. They have green and red and black color, and they are like really packed with the information and links and everything. It's yeah. But anyways, I finally found a person who to contact. I contact the person and they are on holiday. The whole summer, of course, was like that. So I decided that I will do everything to kind of figure out this thing. So I contacted to each of the professor from which I wanted to have the course from. there are quite many people I contacted. I received emails that yes, it seems like we are having those courses online. So it started to look like, okay, I will study from here. And end of the last week, the person who I contacted, from whose confirmation I need that I'm accepted as a kind of remote student, the person contacted me and said that now there are changes happening, so they can say that. And I gotta say that I'm happy they answered. I hope they will continue the discussion with me. And I understand that the situation in the world is changing and it's hard to kind of see to the future what will happen. But as an exchange student, when you don't have an apartment and you are kind of middle of two countries, and if things are unstable, kind of, because they have already the skills to make the classes as a kind of hybrid, so part of the students are there and part of are studying from their own place. So that kind of allow that opportunity, especially for the exchange students. So I gotta say that I really hope that this discussion will continue and they understand this thing. And if they are really strict that no, this is not gonna happen, that you need to come here, even most of the courses would be online and just some in a classroom, I need to consider again. And this is the point where I have all these really worried thoughts. Because I really, really want to study there. They have really interesting courses. It's really good university. And I somehow like Germany a lot. And I got that opportunity. I see the value there. That if I will say that I will not actually then come, this is too much, top of everything, because I have other things too to take care of, and I'm also doing courses in Finland at the moment. That if I will not take that place, what it will mean. So the kind of the most awful thought what I got was, okay, if I will not go there, am I ever able to get any job from abroad? Like, who thinks like that? Of course, this is not the last chance. This is a really good opportunity, but it doesn't tell anything what kind of job I will get later. It might open some new opportunities for some specific things, but it doesn't mean that I wouldn't get anywhere else. But this is my thought at the moment still, that I'm really worried what this will mean. And I bet that part of kind of letting go that opportunity and why I'm feeling so I'm feeling is that I have done a crazy amount of work to get in. Like all that paperwork, applying, saying that I'm good enough and choosing the courses multiple times because, yeah, that's always the case. If you want to know more, I can tell you more about that. But it has been almost for 1 year work what I have done. It's so much work. And that's really huge dream that it is stupid to let it go. But I'm also thinking that it's really important to think, is it worth it? So with this question, I will move to the next week. And I hope they will answer. I hope that things will come clear, no matter what is the result. And I hope that I can relax myself from that thought what I had. That will I be anything ever, anywhere, which is really kind of stupid thought, but it's real. So I need to take care of that. And by sharing this, of course, I want to take you to this journey to see that everything is not easy all the time, but also show that people have these thoughts even they have gained a lot of different experiences and skills. So this episode was a reminder to you and to myself that listen to yourself, chase your dreams, don't quit. You are allowed to feel all those emotions, get the support what is needed, and remember to live your life and take care of your health too. Super nice to be back. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Remember to subscribe the channel and see you on next time. Bye.